And now on to the second part of Who's Who for this week. Here we shall learn all about a gentleman who has been on Chitramala for quite some time. His good name is CPA Tariq Shafi. This accountant has been in practice in the Metro DC region for quite some time. Today he is the guest of host Mr. Arif Malik. On this set, Mr. Malik looks into who, what, when, and all about Mr. Shafi. Let's take a look.
And today on Who's Who, we have a gentleman with us who has just come out of the tax season. He's worked very hard, and we thought of pulling him out of the office with all the files and the computers and bring him to our studios, give him a little time off from his office. And he's no other than Mr. Tariq Shafi, a CPA in this area. Welcome, Mr. Tariq.
Well, thank you very much, Arif. Pleasure to be with you.
It's my pleasure to have you on our program.
Thank you,
so
sir.
how was your tax season this time?
Very hectic, but fulfilling as always, and productive.
Productive for you or for the clients?
Both, hopefully.
Both, hopefully.
You know, this is a busy season for us.
I know.
You know, clients rely on us to do the best job possible.
I mean, if you can't rely on your CPA, your doctor, your lawyer, call them liars at times, but lawyers here, back home, they're called liars. But anyway, you know, you can't rely on anybody else then.
Right.
You have to.
Right.
And that's very good. And you've been in this business for a while now.
That's right. If I can go back several decades, I was born in Pakistan.
Okay.
And my family, my parents, took their children in two teams. They came with their oldest son and the youngest son, my brothers, together in 61, November 61. They left Pakistan. That's right.
I was in school.
I'm surprised you were born even.
No, I was born in 50.
All right, all right. And then my sisters and I followed soon thereafter in 1962. So I like to kid sometimes that I was born in Pakistan, grew up in London, and getting old in America. So
wow, you've been around.
My life story.
That's good. And you went to school here, of course, and college and everything.
In London.
England, yeah.
London. Those were our formative years. We grew up there and went to college.
And you did your CPA in London or here?
They're the equivalent of
it's
chartered accountancy. And then
I know that.
In 1983, we moved to the U.S.,
Northern
Virginia.
Northern Virginia. And you've been here ever since?
Yeah, that's right, 30 years almost.
Okay.
Our two daughters were born in London.
Okay.
And they were very little when they came here. And Omar, our youngest, was born here in Arlington Hospital. So,
wow.
So we've been here since then.
You have some British in the family, some Americans in the family, or they've all...
Best of all worlds,
Best of all worlds.
Fantastic. It's been a blessing.
And then you started your own business here.
Well, I was an employee until 1995 when I opened my firm basically from scratch. And so haven't looked back. It's been wonderful, and God's been great. So and people expand all the time.
What are your kids doing these days?
Our oldest is an attorney.
Wow.
So I'll tell her that you didn't say she was a liar.
I said back home in Pakistan, not here. Back in the subcontinent, rather. I won't pinpoint any place.
She's doing well. She's an asylum officer at the Homeland Security office here in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
Rabia is our middle child, and she is a federal contractor with Booz Allen.
Wow.
A local defense contractor here. And Omar is in transition. He was with Booz, but looking for change, and has got a very good position at a brand new company, and he's starting, I think, next week.
And I was told by your wife that she's going into some business now.
Lubna always has had some financial background. She was a banker for 16, 17 years.
Wow, that's
good. And is opening her UPS franchise store shortly.
God. So, okay, that's fantastic.
So she'll be keeping very busy.
A lot of diversification in the family.
That's right. You could say that.
Doing business, you're a CPA, but you work very closely with the lawyers and accountants, insurance companies.
Correct.
And corporations, of course.
Oh, absolutely. We have a very tight, symbiotic relationship with insurance agents like yourself. Life insurance is very, very critical to tax and financial planning.
True.
We work closely with contract lawyers, business attorneys, and so on. And of course, accountants and other CPAs who have different expertise than perhaps us. Yeah,
Wow.
but we all bring it all together.
Speak on the other day at that place you invited us at the Marriott.
Yeah, the
and
Open.
That was the Open,
Yeah.
and that was a very good
Thank you.
thing. And
Yeah.
you are one of their members.
I am, and luckily I get invited once, maybe perhaps twice a year to speak on their behalf to their members or non-members on tax, financial planning, accounting.
And I like the way you guys were helping each other for the entrepreneurs who wanted to get into small businesses and all that.
That's right. That particular forum, we had 3 panelists.
You were one of them.
That's right. And so it was a wonderful opportunity to bring the tax, financial side of it, the practical nuts and bolts.
Exactly, and one was for doing surgical
That's
things,
right.
and he started from nowhere.
Yeah, and we got great feedback from the
I really
attendees.
loved it.
Yeah,
I really loved it.
Good
and
for
the questions people were asking, and
Yeah.
one guy was there from Pakistan who was saying that he has money, but there's nobody he could help them with.
That's right. And
investors
we touched
from
upon
here,
angel investors and so on.
and all that. That was pretty good.
The state, the Commonwealth of Virginia, Maryland, and DC, this tri-state area is very, very good. And a very business-friendly atmosphere they create, and they give you tax credits if you do certain things, to promote businesses and rehab processes and so on. So good tax credits are available not just by the federal government, but by the state authorities.
Oh, really? And you must be helping them get started.
That's
if anybody comes for any informations and how to set up a business, that's also your expertise.
That is part of our domain and expertise.
Wow.
Correct.
Wow. And I mean, how much you run all the 3 states here, or just
not only the 3, but we are licensed to do business in the 50 states and DC.
Oh, really?
So my brother, for example, our youngest brother is a dentist out in Phoenix, whom I just visited.
Oh, really? You were telling me the other day.
And so Arizona, Colorado, California,
we have clients from there. Wow.
Yeah.
And you communicate on
That's right. You were talking a little earlier about technology.
Of course.
That really helps.
Of course.
The
in the old days, I remember
the world.
accountants catching all these files, the bunch of them, and carrying it to the different places.
That's right. The green eye shades and rolled up sleeves.
Exactly.
Yeah, those.
And they have a rubber band here.
The good old days.
Good old days.
Yeah.
I mean, you still watch them in the old films.
That's right.
And that was the concept of an accountant. But today it's a different world altogether.
It's not just quantitative. It's not just dollars and cents. It's really qualitative.
I know.
And you got to go behind the numbers to figure out what's going on.
Read in between the lines.
That's right. Read between the numbers, the lines, and see what we are getting at. Because numbers tell a story. And how to tell a story and project, say, a year, 5, 10 years from now. And so that's where tax planning and life insurance also comes in, part of the estate tax planning tools.
Fantastic. And you also do retirement plannings for your clients, how to, and advise them rather.
Cradle to grave planning and everything in between. When a child is born, retirement planning comes into play, and so on, and all the way through the middle years and transitions, marriage, then young kids and into retirement and so on. And
you run a corporation within a corporation.
You have to. It's survival of the fittest, and death actually is a great tax planning tool for the survivors. It's a sad situation, but as long as you have taken care of your beneficiaries and loved ones,
you don't want them going to
the doghouse.
I didn't want to say it. You said it. Okay.
Yeah, and also the IRS and the states can take a chunk out of your estate. And so you have to be very careful that you have arranged your financial and tax affairs within your lifetime to ensure that they don't take such a huge chunk out of your wealth.
And I think the best time to do it is right now.
Well, we're not getting
anybody. Anybody. My advice to my viewers would be, if you want to do something, do it now. Don't wait tomorrow, because the tomorrow will come day after, and the day after, and the day after.
Yeah, and it's a natural thing, Arif, to sort of delay and talk about
exactly,
retirement
and they don't
or even death. It's not a very pleasant subject to talk about.
But you have to do it.
That's right.
I mean, if you really love your family and your spouse and your kids, you have to take care of them.
That's right.
Even not right now, when you're not here.
That's right.
Take care of them.
And that's a legacy that you leave behind, and they have some financial standing then and some independence
And that's where your expertise, you
That's
help
right.
them out,
That's
all
correct.
the people in that.
Yeah, we work closely with an estate tax attorney, elder law attorneys, and of course the CPA comes in, plugging numbers and seeing what we need to do, the investment side, and so on and so forth. That's where our expertise comes in.
So you practically go hand in glove together with the lawyers, with the insurance people, with the financial planners, with so many other
Absolutely. There are
people.
so many team players that
team
one
players you
person
have.
cannot do
Do it.
all the things.
All the
So you
things.
have to be a team player.
You have to be a team player. Fantastic. And how does your daughter help you at times being a lawyer? You do go back for some advice to her, or?
Certainly, yeah. She obviously has some knowledge of contract law, but she is in the asylum business.
I know, I understood
but
when you
a
told me.
lawyer is a lawyer.
Lawyer is a lawyer. Basically,
So,
they're
yes.
trained for everything.
That's right.
But you
So-
then go diversify and be a specialist in one
That's
field
right.
or the other.
That's right.
Somebody is a criminal lawyer, immigration, or people select lines and then they specialize in that.
Become specialists.
And what's your specialty in your
Personally,
accounts?
I like taxes, and financial planning. I enjoy that at quite a high level, mid to high net worth individuals, businesses. You had mentioned corporations.
Yeah.
LLCs, limited liability companies, are very popular as a legal entity and so on.
Fantastic.
So how to conduct business, a business, whether you should incorporate, whether you should stay a sole proprietor or incorporate, these are all fields that you need to sit down with an expert,
of
maybe
course.
CPA, work out what's best in your case, in your circumstances.
It's like tailor-made for everybody.
That's right. We customize
it.
the type of business entity that you should be working under.
Fantastic. And this means, if my understanding is correct, you work from a layman who walks into your office with a file, sir, could you do this for me, to somebody really big.
Sure.
You work with everybody.
We certainly can be selective. It's
okay.
not just every person will become a good client of ours, or vice versa.
Or vice versa.
I mean, he could find, or that entrepreneur could find somebody else.
Of course.
But if it works, it clicks, nothing like it.
Nothing like it.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of people when I go to them and they say, okay, let me talk to my accountant. Who the hell is he now? Come on, he's taking my business away. But just saying, no, this is not a right thing. But
I'm
yes,
very open to,
but we do come across a lot of CPAs. My clients refer CPAs. They bring them into the meetings for their expertise.
That's right.
That whatever these people are telling us, is it doable for me or not?
Yeah.
Maybe doable for others, but for me or not.
That's right.
And I think we all go hand in glove together.
That's right.
Fantastic. Have you any other branches in Maryland or others, affiliations?
I have a home office in Lawton, and my periodic clients live nearby in the Springfield, Lawton, Burke areas, and so I have set up an office there. But my main office is near Tyson's Corner, Falls Church. Is a very famous address. 7777.
And
my
its telephone number has 7 sevens now.
That's right.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Thank you so much,
Sure
Mr. Tariq, for coming over to our show.
My pleasure, Arif.
It's been a pleasure. Any advice? We're running out of time. If you could say to our fans. Yeah.
Well, as I was mentioning, I think it's never too early to get professional advice from your tax person if you have any issues with your